Hi, good morning, everybody. For some reason, I thought I had more time, but it's 2 minutes past 6 o'clock. My name is Lisa Dublin, and I'm coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. I hope wherever you are watching me from, it's a wonderful morning for you. The question this morning is, what do you believe about yourself? And what are you doing with that belief, good or bad? That's our question for today. Let me just go live on Instagram as well. Say good morning to my folks over there. So, a special good morning to the diamonds in the To All the Girls Success Club. I hope you are doing well this morning. So, where did this topic come from? Of course, everybody knows that what you believe about yourself is going to fuel what you do, etc. But it really came back to me a couple of days ago. I was watching a replay of one of my favorite mysteries of all times, Murdoch Mysteries. I just absolutely love it. And I think I'm perhaps like three times into the reruns, and every single time I watch it, I just see something new. And so I'm somewhere, I think, in the early parts of the series where the protagonist, if you Julia, she's been accused of murder of her husband, right? And they're trying to figure out. They know she's innocent, right? But they're trying to figure out who's behind it. Like, is it right? Is How do we get to prove her innocence? The minute they realize that who the mastermind was behind it, James Gillies, the minute that happened, would you believe they then began to find evidence, to go over the evidence that they already had to prove that she was innocent? It's as if once it was very clear who was behind it and that she was innocent, the same evidence that was condemning her now came into question. And I was sitting there thinking about, what exactly it meant in terms of life. And it's this: whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are right. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Whatever you believe about yourself, somehow you find the evidence for it. Isn't it true? If you believe today that you are inherently flawed, that you don't have any talent, that nothing is going right for you, that you're not going to make it, not only will you find evidence for it in your life right now. Hey, Beverly, good morning to you. But you're going to keep on proving that in your life. The things that you do, you are going to approach them with that lackluster kind of attitude. You're not going to be right on ball and be convicted about what you do. And it's going to be that you're proving that I am not enough. On the other hand, and that's where I want us to stay this morning, if you believe that you have talent, that you can do whatever you set out to do, if you are convinced deep within yourself you have nothing missing, nothing broken, that you are a child of God, and that gives you the ability to do great things in the world, and you keep your mind focused on that reality and that identity, one, you will find proof of it in your life. Secondly, that proof and that evidence is going to produce more of the same. Whether you think you can or you cannot, you are right. So it's a combination, I think, of confidence and faith and identity. I heard something this week that, has stuck with me and is related to everything we're talking about today. So wherever you are, say hi, good morning to you. And they said that, for example, somebody could produce Levi jeans, and that same company or another company could produce the exact jeans. Gucci could produce the exact jeans. Now, Gucci offers the same jeans, Levi offers the same jeans. One is worth perhaps a couple $100, and another one is worth $1,000 plus. And what they're saying is that value and identity comes from the person who makes you, the person who makes it and values it. It doesn't come inherently from the jeans itself. If Gucci made the jeans, Gucci says, yes, like, this is who I am, I'm valuable, the jeans that I make is valuable. And Levi's, of course, we know Levi's, I guess, is like middle of the barrel kind of thing. And Levi's would do the same because of the value of, they're giving value in the world. So who made you today? That's where the value comes from. The value of the maker determines the value of the product, and we are made in God's image and likeness. I love to start there. So, what is your value this morning? And what are you believing about yourself? In thinking about the topic, here's something else that I wanted to explore. We don't all start out with this burgeoning, mature belief in ourselves and our abilities. I recognize that it is really something that grows with you if you take the time to develop and to stay in and marinate on who you are. Then that belief in your head and in within you, it grows as to who you are and what you can do. So if you're at the point today where most of us start from, where I don't quite believe in myself, I don't quite believe in my abilities, and I'm having trouble exercising that belief, you just need to stick with it. You need to start finding, for me, how I started, because like I always say, especially like all the way back to my late teens, early 20s, it really was like my Waterloo moment, watershed moments in my life when I grew up a whole lot. And part of that growing up was moving from pretty low self esteem in who I was and realizing God loved me. That meant something. Okay, what exactly did that mean? I am blessed and highly favored, above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I shall lend and not borrow, and I have nothing missing, nothing broken. That's like foundational. That took time. And the more I say it, the more I ruminate upon it, marinate in it, say it out loud, the more I see evidence of it in my life. Like moving from a whole set of broken relationships to more fulfilling ones, more wholesome friendships, a more wholesome partner, all of those great things. And just being okay with myself in the world and knowing that being able to step out there and feel like I have nothing missing, nothing broken, does not mean that I think I'm perfect. It is a starting point to actually become that process of getting better. Of I already have the foundation, I'm just simply working it out through stuff like personal development, reading, evaluating, then coming back, measuring, trying again. I'm starting from, not that I'm broken, but that I am working out a wonderful reality of being nothing missing, nothing broken. So where are you today? I think like one of the things I help people with is confidence. In Speak with Confidence, in the life coaching, in my teaching, writing, whatever, it really is for you to know, hey, if you don't step out, you don't know what you can do. If you stay in your shell, and if you start like just thinking that you are not enough, that's exactly what you're going to find proof of in your life. And so I think the call is for us to know that confidence is a muscle that is built over time with the right helps and training and all of that, and to take those opportunities to test yourself and to see yourself do bigger and bigger things. That is how you build confidence. And that is how I think you have proof of concept of, I have nothing missing, nothing broken. You guys, so my podcast is supposed to be out today, but I was like, it was one of the hardest podcasts to do. If you remember, last week I was saying that I had recorded last week's podcast, talking about I'm not going back to the office, but I didn't like what I did, right? And even doing it over, then I was still hesitant for a couple of reasons that I worked out. By the time I worked it out and got the courage to send it to my podcast editor, it was late. Okay. So it should be out today, but if not today, it will definitely be out, I think, tomorrow. In the meantime, there are a couple ones like this one. Let me just show you this. This podcast is one of my most vulnerable so far. And what I realize is, vulnerability is a good thing as well, because, it really does let people see that. Let me take it off the screen because Instagram can't see it. Instagram, if you're watching me, you can go to my the link in my bio, and or Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Basement Chronicles, the podcast will be there, so you can go listen to the past episodes even as you prepare for this next episode coming out. I'm really looking forward to it because this podcast journey. I hope you come along with me so that in a couple years, God willing, will be like episode episode 500, episode whatever, because it really is a different experience, a different kind of offering that I'm absolutely enjoying, and I hope you do too. So here's this one that I like, but this is the second episode. So now I'm like, which episodes work better, the longer form ones or the shorter ones? When I first started just trying to get into, so on Instagram, this is You Are the Asset, which is the second episode. So you can go watch, listen to those podcasts. It's also on YouTube. So if you join me there, you can just click on the podcast and you can see those past episodes. So you guys, I have two things to tell you about. Okay. Did I not take this off the screen? Okay, here we go. So on Sunday, on Sunday, I returned with from another interview that I'm just delighted about. Since I've really been listening to podcasts and doing podcasts myself, I've like my ears are attuned to people doing things. And so on Sunday, I will be interviewing Lila Pender. Lila and I go way back, and she also has a podcast. She is an EDI expert. She actually developed a game, believe it or not, during COVID. Well, it came together during COVID, but she's been doing it with her friends for years, if I recall. I'll be speaking with Lila. She's from Edmonton. I'll be speaking with her on Sunday at 1 p.m. MST. So join me for that interview. It will be lively and just an eye opener to what is going on in our part of the world. So last night, I was last night. I didn't see it last night. I saw it this morning that Sterling Scott from Edmonton, he won Canada's Got Talent. Did you guys see that? So I'm listening this morning while kind of getting ready to live stream, and I just hear this guy, when he won, the things that he said, he was just so filled with emotion that my own eyes just started tearing up, because you could see that it was almost a labor of love. That, oh my goodness, I feel like Canada has the best comedic talent in the world. And I was trying to come to grips. I'm not like a very funny person, so I was trying to kind of get his jokes right. And he was talking about how how I find he reminds me of Trevor Noah, honestly, a little bit. How they use humor to kind of poke fun at this whole racism and prejudice, etc. And he was doing that in his jokes, last night, and saying that he definitely has an affinity to redheads, because for sure he knows no redheads were involved in slavery, because they couldn't stay out in the sun for that long with the slaves in the field. And then he says, he thinks that they should now call redheads ginger or call them orange, because if you kind of spell orange differently, you get a Negro, right? And so he then goes on to say, I guess that was the punchline, orange is the new black. And he won last night, won 20K, I think, and he's going on to just bigger things. But he's from Edmonton, from what I hear, and I did hear a Caribbean accent, so I'm like, I think he has a show coming up or something. So that's definitely somebody we can support if you are local in Edmonton. Just funny, just funny. Sometimes pain just brings out the funny, doesn't it? This thing about racism and prejudice, I just imagine aliens looking at us from out of space and being like, what is wrong with these people? Do they see that they all are the same from where we stand? Why are they creating divisions? What is this about? And then those aliens might turn to black people and say, well, why are you being targeted so much? From where we stand, we look back in your history and we see all the great things that your ancestors did. Don't you think that's perhaps why all of this is happening? Don't you perhaps think that there might be something special to you? Like, what are you doing? I always like to look at it from the alien point of view. I'm telling you, okay? Last thing I have to tell you before I get out of your hair this morning is this. So I told you about my interview with Lila. Oh, yes. And Sunday is going to be very busy. And I hope you attend everything that I do on Sunday. Okay. Here's the next thing that we're going to be having. Have you joined the free webinar? I had the distinct pleasure of doing a talk on speaking with confidence to an ERG here in Edmonton yesterday. And it was just amazing. And it's the stuff that I love to do to inspire people to get up and speak, to let your voice be heard, to know how to do it, to know that it is an art and a science. So the link is right here on the screen. You can go to my website, lisamdublin.com/SWC, and you can sign up. If you're watching on Instagram, it is the first link in the bio. Okay. So I just love inspiring people to speak, to get up, especially our young Black sons who sometimes are being told to shut up and dribble. Right? That's all they can do, right? And so I presented yesterday to, it was a pretty big group, 100 plus people in the room, talking about the importance of being able to speak with confidence and how exactly you do it. And so I, kind of just condensed a little bit of what we do in the Speak with Confidence program. Some people have already signed up. So, I'm doing the webinar on Sunday. It's free. Come find out what it's about. Come attend. There are specials that I offer only to the people who attend the webinar. So you want to make sure to get in the room because it's only going to be offered to those people who take the time and show up. That means you're interested. So I'm going to reward that. So make sure you come out on Sunday because this Speak with Confidence program is really going places. We are going to be going into our 8th cohort, and I've made the decision to only have one cohort a year from now on, just because of what I really want to be doing with the continuous learning arm of the Speak with Confidence program. So now what happens, and even yesterday, one of the participants asked the question, do you have, what if I'm an introvert and I don't like small talk? Like, what do I do? And I was almost jumping out of my seat to say to her, Sunday last in the speaking school, which is the continuous learning arm of the Speak with Confidence program, we addressed the art of conversation. And my whole point and aim is once people have graduated from the Speak with Confidence program, to help them to continue to grow and to tone the confidence muscle by presenting all of these subject areas that will lend to your confidence as a speaker, as a connector, as a networking person, somebody who's out in your community, in your profession, in your vocation, being able to communicate your ideas with heart and soul and prowess. That's the whole point of it. And so I was saying to her, yeah, come on in, because you know what? If you can leverage that art of speaking, especially, and let me talk to the immigrants here. Many times there's almost like, I don't know, a hidden memo, an unwritten memo, keep quiet. And part of that, of breaking that down, is to realize that you just don't have to read the memo. We sometimes give ourselves that memo. We sometimes say to our own selves, oh, I'm the only Black person in the room. Oh, I'm the only this or that. Other people like me don't speak up. I should not. What if you became the rule? And that's what I'm trying to do with all of this. What if this was the rule? This is what we do. And a lot of immigrants come in with all their qualifications, with experiences that can actually add to the culture of their new country. But because of their silence and because they're they're signing their name on the hidden memo of don't speak up, then that rich experience, it stays hidden. It never gets developed into something new in their new society. You don't have to have the gift of the gab for you to be a good speaker. All you need to first have is an idea. And I love to start from there right now. Like, what do you want to say? Once you have a thing to say, then we can learn how to say it with do the art, do it artistically, and do it confidently, do it authentically, without the self-consciousness that can prevent your message from coming across. So Last call, perhaps. Join the free webinar on Sunday. Hey, Leonese, how are you? Oh, there are my people on Instagram. I'm seeing, hi, good day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Join the free webinar. It's the first link in my bio on Instagram. Or if you're on Facebook or anywhere else, LinkedIn, YouTube, then you can just go to my website. Just go there, lisamdublin.com/SWC, and you can join in there. Pardon me. Okay, everybody. So don't forget, today I came to talk about how belief can drive you. What would you do differently if you absolutely believed that you had nothing missing and nothing broken? What would you believe? What would you do today if deep down within you, you knew that you are okay, that you can make it, that you have value? Who would you reach out to? Which promos would you put out? Where are you holding back because you don't think you are of value, right? If you think you can or you cannot, you are right. So let's think that we can this morning. Thank you. I'm going to be on same time tomorrow morning, okay? So like my pattern these days is the Thursday and the Friday. It kind of works, and I hope you join me tomorrow. I want to start really talking about speaking and helping people, even in this little session, to just take a tip or two and go out and speak with confidence and, do all the things that successful speakers do. Thank you so much. Don't forget to sign up for the webinar, and I'll see